Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me here for the Taz Effect, your daily news in the way that you didn't realize you could use. There is a lot going on today. And yes, Pete Hegseth did decide to rally the troops, so to speak, because in his own words, it looks better for pictures when you have the guys that have stars and stripes on their shirts. And he rattled on for 20 minutes to crickets. Before Trump arrived, he threatened to fire generals. Yay us. But that's not even the crux of the craziness that's gone on this week, and it's only Tuesday. Marjorie Taylor Greene decided to put everybody on notice that she is of sound mind and body and has zero ideations of suicide. Why did she decide to let everybody know this? Because she is still standing firm on the side of the Epstein-Maxwell victims. Also in the news, there is a very famous New York financier that was found to have been trafficking and torturing young women in his penthouse. No. He had a whole soundproof room. And of course, the conspiracy theorists are out going, is he in the Epstein list? I bet you he's a friend of Trump. You all do realize that there are tons of creeps out there, and they're not all connected to Trump. No, I'm not defending Trump, Epstein, or Maxwell, but I'm going to need y'all to allow people to be held accountable for the shit that they do. It is nobody else's fault. It was nobody else's idea. Some people are just horrible people. Mm-hmm. And you don't realize that you're pulling accountability away from folks when you get busy with your bullshit conspiracy theories. But sticking with Marjorie Taylor Greene for a second, coming from Newsweek, Marjorie Taylor Greene responds to Ted Cruz calling her crazy. You respond to that, but we've been calling you, you know what?
Pterodactyls.
Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene has hit back at Senator Ted Cruz after he branded her crazy in response to a social media post in which she said she is not suicidal. In a post on X on Saturday, the Georgia Republican suggested that she could be killed over her support for the release of files related to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. If something happens to me, I ask you all to find out which foreign government or powerful people would take heinous actions to stop the information from coming out, she wrote. First of all, I need y'all to stop. Politicians and lay people alike. Nobody is trying to off people regarding the Epstein-Maxwell files. No one is, okay? If people were going to be off, it would be the witnesses. It would be the victims, not the people who are just now finding out that files exist. Jeffrey Epstein offed himself to avoid accountability, just like Ghislaine Maxwell's father did. Ghislaine Maxwell hasn't offed herself because she knows how society works. And as proven, people are having a bleeding heart and trying to contort themselves more than a German pretzel to make her out to be a victim because she has a uterus. So, in comments to Newsweek, Greene slammed her fellow Republican, saying he had the gall to falsely accuse me of attacking Jewish people. That charge is disgusting and utterly false. Well, Marjorie, people are having a hard time believing that you are finally deciding to stand on the right side of history, since you infamously were part of the Gates 8 and you went above and beyond to help cover and defend Trump from his crimes of sexual assault and help cover things for Matt Gaetz. You previously said that basically if you didn't get your way, that you would release the name of people on Capitol Hill who had been engaging in sex trafficking and sexual assault, and you still haven't. So you standing firm with the victims now is highly political and for personal gain and has nothing to do with the victims themselves.
I find now, to believe she could stand on them feet.
Do we appreciate, and as a historian, I realize that many times good things come out of bullshit people and people jumping onto movements and thinking things are trendy and trying to derail it. And fortunately, those movements don't get derailed and some justice happens. Hopefully, that will be the case here. But Slewfoot McGee ain't. Now, as you know, once again, Capitol Hill cannot come together to have a firm plan regarding our federal government budget. After all of the workings of Doge that was supposed to bring us this great budget and reduce cost and all this stuff, we still haven't balanced the budget, and we are looking straight down the barrel of another government shutdown. Has it been 7 years? Yes, but in those 7 years, have the federal employees who were hit the hardest by it fully recouped? Absolutely not. And should there be a shutdown, does not mean that the government literally shuts down. It just means that people will have to show up to work and not be paid.
I ain't showing up for not getting paid.
People will have to show up to work and not be paid because we cannot have the government shut down, especially with Trump, Hegseth, and put it in the pullout, Vance doing what they're doing and the amount of posturing they're doing. And I'm surprised that JD Vance made it into work today because he was recently in Cincinnati, Ohio, and he's so idiotic. I wonder if he has a death wish because he enjoys walking with his children out in public with very minimal Secret Service, blocking off the roads, having road closures, most notably Taft in Cincinnati, Ohio, so everybody knows that he's home. His children and spouse are not at the vice president's residence, and he likes to go to jungle gyms. I should not know this about a sitting vice president while they're the sitting vice president. But at least he's not on vacation. At least. Coming from the Hill, Vance, U.S. headed for shutdown because the Democrats won't do the right thing. Translation, the Democrats won't kowtow to the GOP. Vice President Vance warned that the government is heading for a shutdown, blaming Democrats for potential government funding lapse after a meeting with President Trump and congressional leaders at the White House. The principle at stake here is very simple. We have disagreements about tax policy. You don't shut that government down. We have disagreements about healthcare policy, but you don't shut the government down, Vance told reporters after the meeting. How about you finally do what's right for the people? You cannot keep marketing yourself one way and not delivering. And GOP voters, MAGA voters, when are you going to stop letting them fuck you raw and not even buying you dinner or even a soda first? Because you keep saying you want people that are going to represent you as the common man, but when are they giving you anything to sustain you? You're unemployed. You don't have proper health care. Your mental health is shit. You have no savings. You have no education. And if you do, you're drowning in educational debt while they're getting bailed out for any and everything. You're about to lose family businesses, most notably family farms, which means you're going to lose your family home as well.
Taz Farms remembers.
So what has been your benefit to voting Republican other than upholding racism? And once again, let me remind you, the ricochets of racism hit everyone, especially those holding the racism gun. Pew, pew. Okay, asking studio audience. Yeah, you know the studio audience is here. The vice president described the position of Democrats as putting a gun to Americans' heads, while Senate Majority Leader John Thune, Republican out of South Dakota, similarly accused Democrats of hostage taking in their demands to avoid government shutdown. This is why people are so comfortable with constantly utilizing slavery and the plight of Black people in the United States to define things that make them slightly uncomfortable, which y'all always say, well, you use this is overused, so it takes away from. This is what takes away from. This is not hostage taking. But framing things with this narrative makes it seem like it's a us versus them. And it's not. It's causing people to side with the villain in the story, not the anti-hero, the villain.
Them inner cities stay the way. Stay what way?
What? Them policies have keep. Them policies have keep what?
There's not a complete sentence in this motherfucker. Them inner cities stay the way. Stay the way of what? The way of
minorities. What do minorities have to do with congressmen and women putting together a budget for the government? That's what we're talking about. Wake, I'm awake. Are you? Because you seem to be are you having a stroke? Do you smell burnt toast? Is one side of your face going limp? Can you feel the left side?
Can you feel your face tonight? Diane Smith, 2841.
You all really need to do a better job of coming in here trolling me. At least listen for a few minutes to understand or even get a grasp of what we're talking about, because for some reason I get the worst trolls ever. Like, I know you trolls are below remedial, betwixt the ears, but damn.
Betwixt them ears.
Okay, coming from Total Pro Sports. For those that don't know, Bad Bunny's coming to the Super Bowl. And y'all, okay, first of all, racist, I'm going to need y'all to stop proclaiming your superiority while simultaneously letting us know just how lackluster you are. This past Super Bowl, y'all were like, I didn't even understand what was going on. I needed a dictionary. You're constantly saying that Black people are stupid, but you could not understand the complexities of a Black man's performance lyrically from a genre of music that is poetic and melodic. You admitted you needed a dictionary. You're going to need Rosetta Stone.
All his words were in English, too.
You're going to need Rosetta Stone. You're going to need Duolingo. You're going to need to speak. You know what? Just don't watch. I don't even know why y'all watch sports. Do you understand strategy at this point? Because, like, I'm wondering.
You know, Ray, affordable health care is not the only thing that makes America weak.
Okay. We're talking about Bad Bunny right now. Can y'all keep up?
I mean, seriously.
Can y'all keep up? Like, I can understand, like, somebody coming in a little delayed, like popping in on the YouTube side of things, but you're on the TikTok side of things, delayed. Anyway, Puerto Rican rapper Bad Bunny accused of racism after NFL announces decision to have him headline Super Bowl 60 halftime show. How do you all descend from the creators of race and the hierarchy thereof and still fuck up the definition, but you think that you have a mastery over the things that we subsequently created?
Are you ready for some football? Sure.
Bad Bunny has been accused of racism and bigotry following the NFL officially unveiling him as a Super Bowl 60 halftime show performer. The league confirmed that the Puerto Rican artist as the next Super Bowl's halftime headline after discussing the possibility with Taylor Swift, whose make or break demand ended up going the break route. Of course, Taylor, you're not as influential as you think.
You're not that popular, ho.
A handful of white people, well, specifically white women who love to bring their white daughters and nieces and grandchildren to the show, who still look at you as if you were a teenager when you're a middle-aged pedophile, you're not doing what you think you're doing.
Who like to bring bouncy castles to protests?
You hire former IDF as security. I don't know why y'all think there are artists that can stay on the road and consistently sell out stadiums. There are artists that can drop an album every year and do incredible sales.
Bad Bunny.
Taylor Swift will take one album and keep releasing it to try to block other people, specifically women, from catching up to her, but not give anything new. She has been singing the same shit since she was in the country genre.
She's in the country?
She started off doing country, yes. Now, for those of y'all that are sitting back thinking that, oh, people are just capitulating to this administration, nobody's standing up for us, I'm going to need y'all to get out of your fucking bubble. Once again, it is okay to say that you don't know something and ask questions. It is okay. Once again, coming from Newsweek, largest mass resignation in U.S. history as 100,000 federal workers quit. Ooh, those job numbers are not recovering under this administration. Okay, they're not recovering at all. Some 100,000 federal workers are set to formally quit the U.S. government in what will constitute the largest mass resignation of government workers in U.S. history. I will tell you this. Trump does have a knack for making history. Not proper history, but making history. Because when people hear a few things, like when they hear the word activist, they automatically think the person is standing on the right side of history. Absolutely not. When they hear advocate, they automatically think somebody is doing something for the right side. Absolutely not. And when somebody hears, oh, this person made history, they automatically think it's for good things. No. Hitler, Stalin, Mussolini, the Moon family, all make history. All made history. Not for the right things. Not for the right reasons. No.
Hitler made history?
Yeah, no.
Never heard of him.
The resignations, which come as a part of a program drawn up by President Donald Trump at the start of his second administration, will happen on Tuesday as Congress is facing a deadline on the same day to authorize more funding or risk a government shutdown. Yep, that's the thing. Remember when Trump first started offering all these payouts to people in early retirement and all these things, and I said, there's no budget for it. And all these people called me stupid, called me all sorts of monkeys, bad wenches, and everything else. Said that they owned me and called me every version of nah that was possible. Okay? And guess what? Still don't have a fucking budget. Still don't have a budget. Fired a bunch of people, tried to hire them back at lower standards and lower wages. And they're like, you know what? I'm gonna come till I find a better job or another job. Because you have to realize you're not getting rich as a federal employee. So they're taking their talents to South Beach, so to speak.
Wait.
So,
wait. Being rich?
Yes.
I can see me. Can you see me?
They think you're white.
What?
They think you're white. They think you is a white man.
Jesus Christ on a motorbike.
Yes.
Well, that was the lexicon of things I've been called again.
Oh yeah, there's a great rumor going around there. For a short period of time, there was a I hate Taz, I guess you say anti-fan page that said that I was married to a white man.
Yeah, Jay, that's what I said. What?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm married to a white man.
Gosh, golly. Hey, buddy, you're skating on thin ice.
You're not a convincing white man at all.
I didn't think I was.
If there is no deal, the White House has ordered federal agencies to make plans for large-scale redundancies. Newsweek contacted the Office of Personnel Management by email outside of normal business hours to comment on the story. Why does this matter? The loss of federal workers will have huge impacts on operations across different parts of government and could disrupt services, including in the Department of Veterans Affairs and Social Security Administration that already have depleted staff. Number one. Number two, it also affects the economy and will cause the economy to shrink. You know, those numbers that Trump is like, that's not real. They're just messing with the numbers. He forgets that firing federal employees adds to the unemployment numbers. They count. They're people. An increasing number of unemployed adults will also impact the economy. What did I tell you? With a large number of people clamoring to secure jobs in the private sector at once, which means those that choose not to work in the federal government, those that were like, you know what, I went and got this degree, or I got this specialized training, or I'm just naturally gifted. I want to make the money. You're not going to be able to. Y'all sitting out here complaining now, talking about your job was given to a black person or a brown person. Your job is going to be going to whoever's willing to bend it over or be the mobile glory hole. And if you think I'm joking, I'm not. In history, when stuff like this starts getting tight, people start doing a whole lot of strange for a little bit of change.
Well, shit, I guess you must care, shit wizard.
A few years back, there was a young lady, and people were clowning her, and I was like, y'all are missing the picture, what's on the horizon. She went to an interview at McDonald's and she's like, yeah, I sucked him off. I did this, blah, 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 blah. And I got the job for X amount an hour. People truly do that. And it used to happen a lot in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. A lot of those yuppies weren't all that smart, weren't all that talented. But they wanted the title, they wanted the money, they wanted those business cards. And you think you're pissed off now for having to cover for your boss, for having extra work to do, for no recognition and not proper pay? Saddle up, Buttercup, because they're about to ride you raw, long, and hard.
I like it long, raw, and hard.
It wasn't just white people doing it. It wasn't just white people doing it. And it won't be just white people doing it now. In order to sustain themselves, people are about to do a lot of strange things for some change. You're also going to see an influx of OnlyFans, etc. But here's the thing. You're going to have to lower them rates because people don't have discretionary income like they used to. And a lot of people who got their start in a lot of these non-traditional positions during COVID, you got to realize we couldn't go outside. So the money people would be using to go to the club, go out to dinner, go to the movies, they were spending on OnlyFans. They were spending on subscription services. Now they don't even have ramen money.
But it's only $4 or something for a pack of 12.
Oh, yeah. You got to see a whole lot of Republican wives and husbands on there doing weird shit. It's about to get real weird.
Can we do some weird shit even though we're not Republican? I can. Well, no, I don't want to start OnlyFans. Never mind.
I was gonna say you don't want. If
y'all can come to the house and watch for
my shorts. If my shorts too tight, you don't. Let's not forget. Okay, you almost threw hands with the Uber Eats driver when I opened the door and you realized you could see through the moo. You ain't about to. Don't pay him no mind.
I was gonna throw hands with you.
Don't pay him no mind.
For $59.99, you can come watch us in person. That's per minute.
For $59.99, you can come get a plate and stay downstairs and mind your damn business.
We'll leave the door open so you can hear.
So come pick up your clothes.
Hey, DJ.
I have and folded.
Hey, big sis.
Hey, sis. The resignations come as, since assuming office, the Trump administration has made trimming down federal bureaucracy and streamlining services one of its key priorities. Isn't it funny that most of the people that are part of this new Trump 2.0 administration keep saying, oh, we got to eliminate bureaucracy. We got to eliminate bureaucracy. And they keep doing the most bureaucratic shit. Because please tell me why we needed to assemble hundreds of generals today for essentially the biggest board meeting that should have been a text, not even an email. Actually, it could have been a 30-second voicemail. We own some bullshit. We don't respect anybody. You can do the war crimes and all the isms. Just give me credit for it. Signed, Whiskey Leaks and Humpty Canklesaurus Rex.
Ooh, can I say something real quick? Also, at this meeting of the general, Trump declared war on America. Our enemies, domestic and foreign. He emphasized domestic. Yeah.
Somebody taught him what domestic means.
Yeah, I think it's time that somebody, I don't know, kirked them.
For entertainment purposes.
Allegedly, for entertainment purposes.
I should have wore the alleged shirt today.
Okay. Are those generals still going?
All right. What was that?
Good.
What was it?
I'm reading Nightbirds.
Okay, what is it? What
are those generals still going to lead the charge after the government shut down? Yeah, well, I mean, they
don't have respect for Whiskey Leaks. Okay, they are sticking it out because of their tenure. They're sticking it out for their retirement. Let's be real. If anything truly goes down, what was it? London is falling. I feel like that's what's about to happen.
Okay, real quick. For people who don't know, who've never been in the service, officers Officers, gentlemen, damn it, shut up.
Shut up. That was rude.
I'm sorry. You just made me say gentlemen. I'm sorry.
Oh, you don't like it when I'm the studio audience. Come over here and sit in front of all these cameras.
Generals, admirals, ensigns, lieutenants, colonels, yada, yada, yada. They are literally employees. They are not bound to a service time. They can quit. They can be fired. Unlike enlisted people who have to serve out their term or get dishonorable discharge. They can quit. They're like, hey, you know what? This is not going the right way. Or the government can go, you know what? We don't feel that you are a good fit anymore. We're letting you go. They are literally employees.
Mm-hmm.
So if they decide they don't want to fulfill their contract or fulfill those orders, they can be like, nah, bro, we good. And just walk the fuck away. And still be able to get a high-paying civilian job. Whereas if a enlisted person decides to rebut a buck against orders, they are court-martialed. If not sent to prison, they're given a dishonorable discharge, which fucks up their life for the rest of their life, fucks up their career choices for the rest of their life. Just a little lesson on how the military works.
And let's see, coming from Politico, Capital Agenda, careening into a shutdown. It's the last day before governing funding runs out. Lawmakers are nowhere near a compromise. Government funding has already run out.
It runs out all the time.
It has already run out. Let us not forget, nobody is sticking to their budgets for their departments, for their agencies. They are spending it willy-nilly like they're a child of Jeff Bezos without being told no.
Yeah, not Jeff Bezos.
Like if the courts actually made Elon Musk pay his child support, now his baby mama would be throwing it in the bag. Okay?
Tossing it in the air.
So all signs point to the government shutting down at midnight Tuesday night. Just when Monday's meeting between President Donald Trump and congressional leaders brought a glimmer of a political off-ramp, the president expressed openness to extending Obamacare credits, Democrats' asking price. It was back to the status quo hours later. Trump posted a deepfake video Monday night of Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer talking about why voters hate Democrats, and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries in a sombrero and mustache, which Jeffries called bigoted. Side note, Trump also shared an AI-generated video of himself making an announcement regarding a program that does not exist, regarding what's called med beds. If you're not familiar with med beds, it's not true. It's these mythical beds that when you lay in it, it can reverse aging, regenerate limbs, fix anything. And in said video, Trump is sitting in the Oval, and there's like, he just signed an executive order. Everybody in the United States will get a med bed card, and all these med bed facilities are opening up. This man legitimately thought that he was sharing his own press conference, knowing that he never was in front of a camera saying anything like that, and it did not dawn on him that this is a concept that does not exist.
Thanks, med bed took away my diabetes.
Yes.
So Michael
Hey, Michael Pruitt. Now just 16 hours until the deadline. There's no reason to expect a breakthrough, and leaders haven't set a follow-up meeting on the impasse. If there's any reason for optimism out of Monday's meeting, it was the discussion about extending Obamacare credits. However, Vice President J.D. Vance insisted those talks would need to happen in the context of an open government, stressing that a shutdown would impede them. J.D. Vance, how about you stay in D.C. and do the work? You have to stop using the excuse that your family can't be in D.C. with you, and you can't be in D.C. because your kids are in school.
If you could take vacations every week.
There are schools in D.C. for politicians' children. And you don't even like your fucking kids like that because you refer to them by their ages and genders, not by their names.
Girl number 3, age 2.
Trump's willingness reflects the desire from some GOP members to prioritize the extension, but with some tweaks to make them more palatable to conservatives. Republicans have been calling for income caps on the subsidies and for potentially adding language restricting the tax credits from covering abortions. Once again, what is the benefit of voting Republican? Everything y'all claim that you need and want, they convince you to vote against. They convince you to vote it away from you. Like, I knew y'all was simple as shit, but damn, just damn. But now, by now, most people are familiar with 3D printed firearms. If you are not aware, you should be aware, illegal most places. And when I say most places, I'm talking about in or outside of the United States. Before you ask, Taz, why are you bringing this up?
Yes, Taz, why are you bringing this up?
Coming from the Associated Press, FBI boss Kash Patel gave New Zealand officials 3D printed guns, which are illegal to possess under local laws.
I know you lying.
Yes, our top cop.
I know you lying.
Gave foreign dignitaries 3D printed guns.
I know. So we can pass through metal detectors with these and come kill you. All right. Thanks, Cash. You cockeyed motherfucker.
Kashrap. What are you doing?
You cockeyed some bitch.
Kashrap. And no, I'm not being funny. That's his name. Kashrap.
Cash App Patel.
Kashrap. Coming out of Wellington, New Zealand.
Cash App Patel. You motherfucker.
You know, for those of y'all that watch daily and have been following me, and those of y'all that have been with me since, doing this trendsetters on Facebook, etc. And some of y'all I've interviewed before out on the street. Y'all know sometimes I have the nervous laugh, and sometimes I have to throw some news in so we have a woosah moment, especially when it comes to Trump. So do not take my laugh like, yes, I realize the seriousness of this, okay? On a visit to New Zealand, yes, he traveled with these items. So he's truly exposing what diplomats, what politicians are able to get through customs. The top cop,
Yes, motherfucker.
on a visit to New Zealand, FBI Director Kash Patel gave the country's police and spy bosses gifts of inoperable pistols that were illegal to possess under local gun laws and had to be destroyed, New Zealand law enforcement agencies told the Associated Press. Because it's New Zealand, do I believe that they were all destroyed? Absolutely. But why would that be the gift that you give them? Like, you didn't think of like some good American cuisine that, maybe they can't get authentically over there or something like that. Or like some merch from like a recent gaming event, something like that. A great book that you feel represents the U.S. No, you go give the officers there undetectable firearms that are illegal. Like, you don't research anything. The plastic 3D printed replica pistols formed part of display stands Patel presented to at least 3 senior New Zealand security officials in July. Patel, the most senior Trump administration official to visit the country so far, was in Wellington to open the FBI's first standalone office in New Zealand, and it's gonna be the last. It's gonna be the last. They gonna be like, come get your shit and come get your peoples. We don't want this. Is ghetto. This is ghetto. We don't want it.
So he gave inoperable guns to people who know how to make them operable. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Pistols were tightly restricted weapons under New Zealand law, and possessing one requires an additional permit beyond a regular gun license. Law enforcement agencies didn't specify whether the officials who met with Patel held such permits, but they couldn't have legally kept the gifts if they didn't. So not only was it wasn't just that they were 3D printed that made them illegal. This is the meritocracy. This is the meritocracy. Because diversity and Black people being in these positions is a no-no. It's a no-no. No, we don't hit the particles, remember? Isn't that what Charlie Kirk said? We don't, just the women and the Black people, they just can't put the thoughts together to make anything work, okay? They got to take jobs from other people and stuff just doesn't work. Everything goes to shit when you put the Black people and the ones with the lady parts in control. So what do we call this? Where the penis-riddled pedo protectors are in charge. It wasn't clear what permissions Patel had sought to bring the weapons into the country. A spokesperson for Patel told the AP Tuesday that the FBI would not comment. Translation, he didn't ask for permission. He didn't ask for permission. I need people from the U.S. to stop acting as if the world is the U.S. or that the world has to conform to you when you go to their countries, but you want other people to conform to how you perceive the entirety of the United States working when people come here. Because I don't know if these pages still exist, but when Facebook was like the best we had, and yes, I'm being facetious with that. There were a ton of pages because there were people who would read or make compilation videos of folks complaining while on vacations that they booked through travel agents. So these things were explained to them, or they had brochures. They were complaining about siestas in other countries. They were well, why do they do this and why do they do that? Why don't you just take a vacation at the local glory hole, Cynthia? Why did you leave the country? Okay, you done spent 67 years not leaving your block, and now you. But the pistols were surrendered and destroyed. Inoperable weapons are treated as though they're operable in New Zealand if modifications could make them workable again. So once again, these were law enforcement professionals. I am not a law enforcement professional, but allegedly. I would know how to make them operable. Allegedly. Plausibly. Maybe. I'm sure there's a manual out there.
Internet has everything.
And I may know a little bit about the interwebs. Allegedly. The pistols were judged by gun regulators to be potentially operable and were destroyed. New Zealand's police commissioner, Richard Chambers, told AP in a statement Tuesday. Chambers didn't specify how the weapons had been rendered inoperable before Patel gifted them. Usually this means a temporary disabling of the gun's firing mechanism. So once again, Patel had no intention on giving them inoperable guns. They were made inoperable because remember, they were in display cases. They were before he passed them out. This is like the kid who has piss poor parents who's just housing them and not raising them, coming to show and tell with mommy's dildo or daddy's heroin out of them.
You know what?
And yes, that is a true story. There have been kids come to school. One educator, and I'm like, this is why I'm glad I moved to virtual educating and tutoring, because I don't know how this woman was not. I don't know how this pharmaceutical works, so I don't know if she can get a contact high from touching it. But she had a child that was bringing her what she thought was pretty rocks every day. It was pretty rocks, crack rock. Okay, a cop came in and talked to the kids about not doing drugs and was like, excuse me, Miss Teacher Lady, why you just, what's going on here? She's like, oh, such and such brings me one every day. Oh, Your plug is the kid. She's like, what do you mean? It just pretty rock. The child loves me and said I'm their favorite teacher. You don't know what this is, do you? Just pretty rock, bitch. Yeah, every day. Kid was taking mama and daddy's crap, bringing it to the sky. Yeah. That's cash up. Cash up. That's what. Mm-hmm.
You know, normally when people bring gifts to people from other countries, like diplomats, it's usually something that's just, you know, native to their country.
Or it's something that, you know, like when Zelensky came, after the infamous, why aren't you wearing a suit? Zelensky was like, if I was going to wear a suit, I look better than all of y'all. And did. He showed up like, let me show y'all how to wear a suit, okay? Zelensky showed up like all his friends is black, okay? He showed up like he married a black woman from deep in the South, okay? I'm talking about a shea butter pink oil moisturizer. Her only facial skin routine is cool water and black soap, okay? That's how he came dressed, okay? I was waiting for him to pull up like Dirk with a plate with aluminum foil on and talk about, I brought my own food. I don't want no McDonald's or KFC. His gift to Trump, monogram golf clubs. Monogram golf clubs. Not firearms that had to be made inoperable and then destroyed. And you would think that the top cop in the country would know what can be brought and not brought. But once again, I want you to keep in mind what also was uncovered with this. He just let everybody know what dignitaries are able to get through customs with ease. No one knew about this till he touched down and started putting stuff on display. I've said this before, and people thought that I was being paranoid.
I'm surprised
we need heightened customs globally for dignitaries. Screw all of this. Oh, you don't need a passport for this. England and your royal family looking at y'all. Oh, you don't need. Yes, everybody needs to have their stuff checked. Like, when are we going to learn? You got Prince Andrew sex trafficking heifers across everything. Because, you know, aristocracy, you know, diplomat, dignitary, we can't really check their stuff. Check their shit. And now we got Kash Patel just bippity boppity booping internationally
with the legal gun.
Our FBI director, and I'm using this term very, very loosely, like, I didn't think that I could hate an FBI director more than I hate Jay Hoover. Okay? Like, I didn't think that, like, there's some that I was like, okay, you irritate me. What the fuck? How did you get this position? Like, stuff like that.
The Pathé Blanc.
Hoover, like, I give the FBI a little bit of a pass because Hoover created the bar. Okay, he was the originator. So they was looking at him like, oh, this is how we do the job. Like, I get that. Okay, and we're not that removed from his reign of terror. Okay, he didn't give a shit. He was coming after everybody, including technically his boss. Let's not forget his beef with JFK Sr. But Cash, KP. You just kicking potential right out the fucking window, KP. Like,
don't play with it.
You, Now, New Zealand has sorry. New Zealand has some strong gun controls, okay? Mm-hmm. And I wish we had the gun controls that they have. I do. That's me personally. You can agree, you can disagree, whatever. So let's discuss that for a little bit. Okay.
I'm infringed on my Second Amendment.
I'm gonna infringe upon you when I get done with this show.
I got
3D printed. I'll say what I said. 3D printed weapons are treated the same as other guns in New Zealand, as they should. This is why people think that you over here getting abused. Where was I at?
Threatening me? She threatening me out.
I should. You just been over there just a snacking, ain't offered a snack, ain't shared a snack, ain't brought me no snack.
These are snack crumbs at this point. Snack crumbs.
I'm a snack crumb you. Anywho, the country bolstered its gun restrictions following a 2019 white supremacist attack on 2 mosques in the city of Christchurch, when 51 Muslim worshippers were shot dead by an Australian man who had amassed a cache of semi-automatic weapons legally. See how they took precautions due to loss of life? See how they said white supremacy will not have us living in fear and will not tyrannize any of us. Wouldn't it be nice if we could do this and give a fuck about each other?
Yeah, Cache Patel. Sorry.
That was the worst dad joke you've ever told. That right there. Don't.
I got a lot of bad dad jokes.
That was the. The guns Patel gifted to the law enforcement chiefs were not semi-automatic models now prohibited after the Christchurch massacre, but there are a suite of other reasons New Zealanders might not legally be able to possess certain weapons, including the specific permits required for pistols. And I love this. I love that you have to have additional permits for a pistol because they're easier to conceal. And I know people who live in states that have concealed carry laws, and they will open carry. Or they'll conceal without a permit and just be walking around willy-nilly, just waiting because they have fantasies of taking a life. No more, no less. This is why I keep telling y'all, stop trying to attach theories and political ideologies to a lot of this violence. Some of it is just people sick. People have a lot of untreated, undiagnosed, misdiagnosed, underdiagnosed, non-medicated stuff going on.
Mesothelioma. Sorry.
I need supervision.
That's why Holly's in charge.
She should be in charge of you. New Zealand doesn't have a passionate culture of gun ownership. Thank goodness. U.S., wake up. Start loving each other. Start loving the family that you choose to have more than you love metal.
Yeah, okay. They'll never do that.
Oh, I thought you were coughing over yourself. I said, I wish you would love a gun more than me.
How much did I pay for the gun?
You still making payments on me?
Man, this damaged goods now. I can't take it back. I gotta keep it.
Come outside. Come outside. Come on. Let's go outside. Let's go outside. I just wanna talk. Just real quick.
I mean, I rebroke it 2 weeks ago. Shit. Real.
I'm telling my daddy.
Tell your daddy.
I'm telling my daddy.
Your daddy don't scare me.
I'm telling my daddy.
Tell him I need a new car.
I'm telling my daddy.
Ask him which one he ain't driving no more.
I'm telling him. He ain't giving you no car after I tell him what you just said.
Oh.
New Zealand doesn't have a passionate culture of gun ownership, and the weapons have been viewed more dimly since the mass shooting. Gun ownership is enshrined in New Zealand law as a privilege, not a right, because that's what it is. And before y'all come in here going, but the Second Amendment, this is where comprehension is key. Where are the well-regulated militia? Where are the armories to keep said firearms? Who is properly training you on cleaning these weapons? When are you regularly getting training? Who's in charge of overseeing the armories? And given that we're supposed to have well-regulated militias, in the event that the federal government or any level of government goes against the populace, when are y'all getting together with your militia to go handle Trump and friends?
You know, the funny thing about having a well-regulated militia is that we do have one. It's called the National fucking Guard.
So once again, and why do y'all worship firearms? Because you're sitting there going, it's to protect my family and my home. Y'all get robbed every damn day. You're getting murked in your house, okay, by poisons, fires, scissors, knives, choked. You ain't protecting yourselves. The only one that I've seen successfully protect themselves was the lady behind the burning bed, okay? And she didn't need no firearm for that. Ladies from 1800s to 1992 was using Oleander and cast iron skillets. Y'all are collecting firearms that you don't know how to fire, don't have the ammunition for them. You got the guns downstairs in the basement in a safe that you can't remember the combination to, or you lost the keys to a long time ago, and you sleep on the third damn floor. Or some of y'all, that tickles me, you disassemble your firearms and put the pieces throughout the house. So if somebody breaks in, what you pause, let's go on a scavenger hunt, sir or madam. And most people are going to stake out your house to try to rob you when you're not home. So what are you protecting it from? The purge isn't actually real. And if the purge was real, people really would, well, outside of white people, really wouldn't be just willy-nilly going out killing people. They would be stealing stuff, robbing the banks, emptying out the safes, stealing cars, trying to take over somebody's house. Shit like that. And not thinking, how the fuck after the purge am I supposed to sustain this shit? How you gonna pay to keep the lights on? It's kind of like when they were doing the home makeover and people were losing those houses because after all of these great upgrades, nobody thought about the bills in tow to keep it. So once again, what is your obsession? Yeah, what's your obsession with guns? Because it doesn't make you more manly. It doesn't do anything. You got a bunch of bitch asses impressing a bunch of bitch asses. It reminds me of the people who still sit around and lie on their undercarriages. And there's a couple of y'all, I see y'all watch every day. And if you think that I don't know, and I haven't known since we were in high school, that y'all lied about sleeping with me, I know. And everybody else knows that y'all lied because they knew even back then I was gay as hell. So, yeah. I wasn't doing the spin cycle salsa on your penis, Pete. Still sitting around lying. Yeah, that's what y'all sound like. Yeah, I shot 6 of them burglars. That burglary ring came by my house. The only thing of value you have is your wife that works at Hooters 2 times a week. And we don't have to break in to get her. She's been asking us to take her with us.
She's been broke in already.
But other countries get it, and we still don't, and we won't. We refuse to. We think all of these things make us better than everybody else, and we're worse. We're not the freest. We're not the smartest. We're not the healthiest.
We're not.
We're not the most industrial. We're not the most technological.
Nope.
We're not the richest.
Nope. That would be Africa. All the countries in Africa combined, or Saudi Arabia.
And it's like, come on. Seriously, where's man?
Side note. The fallacy about Elon Musk being the richest man in the world is just that, a fallacy, because over in the United Arab Emirates and Dubai and places like that, they don't brag about how much money they got. You didn't see them doing stupid shit like having actual gold cars.
Well, here's the thing. Elon Musk is the biggest welfare recipient known to man.
Yes, he is.
And this is why they said on paper he's wealthy. No, he's not. He is piss poor. People always like to talk about assets and blah blah blah. Fuck that shit. Because if you needed the money right then and there, where are you getting it from? If everything you do is off of credit, you're in debt. That's poverty. That's poverty.
Yes,
See, they call it payday loans for the poor and advances for the wealthy. A bailout for the wealthy, welfare for the poor. Section 8 for the poor, a nice subsidy for the wealthy. And it's like people are like, oh, I don't understand this trend of van life and car life. You do realize that's just an adaptation of boat life. For generations, the wealthy has gotten away from paying property taxes, et cetera, by living on their boats.
Yep.
It's just now people are like, you know what? I can live in this vehicle that I can drive to work and whatever, and I can live at the campsite. Wealthy people have also lived in RVs. Now, also coming from the AP, from all over the planet, they came to the UN with a message: fix things, particularly yourself. It's not polite, as a general rule, to visit your host and criticize the way they do things, unless, that is, you're helping to pay the rent. Now, I don't suggest doing this the way that Trump does, because Trump doesn't know shit. So before somebody comes in here and goes, well, you criticize Trump for telling them how to do stuff in the United States, you know, they got to up the tier, we pay for this, that, and the other, and we pull the most from the UN. All of these places, all of these organizations that Trump acts like is indebted to us, we pull the most resources from.
But wait, he said they take more from us.
Because we pull the most from it.
How can that be?
It's like if you have a favorite place that you go, a bar or whatever, and you have a tab.
No.
At the end of the day, when they have to collect the tab and you put everything on your tab, they're going to collect more from you than me having one bill from one day. Trump is like that guy that came on to TikTok making a video complaining about being kicked out from the all-you-can-eat because he went above and beyond, and he still owed a tab to the restaurant that he hadn't paid in 7 years. Now, to the restaurant owners, I need to talk to you for a minute. I'm not going to hit you hard. Allegedly. I won't hit you hard. Allegedly. But you need to be shook and smacked.
Was that the young black guy?
That was an old fat white guy.
Okay, I thought you meant the young black guy who had the eating disorder. My bad.
No, this guy was racking up bills, and he was like, I can't believe they put me out. You ain't paid a tab in 7 years. Yeah, they putting you out. World leaders have spent the past week at the United Nations doing just that, convening at its grandiloquent headquarters to tell each other and those who administer the planet's most prominent global institution that the foundational pillars are cracked, outdated, and not in good working order. Exactly, because the United States is intimidating a lot of people, forcing them to go along with them, and so is Israel. We cannot have two bullies running shit, and a lot of things need to be updated. A lot of things. And a lot of these convenings could be an email or a Zoom call at this point.
Hello.
Because the way tensions are in the world right now, is it really smart to have certain leaders popping up at the damn UN?
No. It's not.
Okay. We're going to close out with coming from Raw Story. General claims Trump scrambled after learning about comical Hexef plan. Had no idea. And before y'all go, Trump is always acting stupid. It's not an act. It is not an act. If you have not figured out that they tell Trump very little intentionally, and they just, because they know he'll lie and take credit for it, yeah, this is how people are getting what they want. There's a whole bunch of power-hungry people that want white supremacy to reign supreme, and they know that they can utilize him to do it. And this is their way, they believe, of avoiding a Nuremberg 2.0. A retired U.S. Army general questioned the motivation for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth ordering military commanders from their posts around the globe to lecture in Virginia. Once again, nobody is thinking strategically or proactively regarding the national and international defense and security of the United States. But y'all say y'all ready for a civil war. Y'all ready to go to war, right? Y'all ain't even good at Call of fucking Duty, but okay. The Pentagon chief is calling hundreds of senior military leaders to a Marine Corps base in Quantico for a pep talk about the warrior ethos along with President Donald Trump. And retired General Barry McCaffrey told MSNBC's Morning Joe the plan was ill-conceived at best. Because everybody is clamoring to have attention and all eyes on them. Right now, Patel is doing things the way that Trump thinks that things should be done. Does not mean that they're correct. Does not mean that they're getting anything done. So he's getting attention. Before that, Tulsi Gabbard was the belle of the ball. And before that, Kristi Noem had the spotlight for a minute. So, and we know Pam Bondi keeps jumping in and out like it's double dutch, like, look at me, look at me, look at me. And, Hegseth is like, hey, wait a minute. Don't forget me. Wait a minute. Hold on. I thought we was besties. Look back over here at me. Let me show you how much of the goodest boy I am. Look, this will be a very respectful audience tomorrow, McAfee said. Our political culture in the country says there's two civilians, only the president and the Secretary of Defense, who give orders to armed forces. I think Secretary Hegseth has no idea what he was doing, calling a no-notice meeting without specifying what the topic would be. I think he did want to harangue the senior enlisted and military leaders of the country about war culture. Word on the curb is originally he was going to be talking about hygiene in the military. That's what the original word on the curb, that's what it was. So he shifted real quick. But once again, this was not necessary. It's a hard one to pull off, he added. These people, as you say, grew up in 20 years of combat. From lieutenant or E1 to the end of their career, they're now serving. And then I think President Trump had no idea what was going on, learned of it, horns in. This ought to be a very unusual, almost comical session. Why did he draw attention to this? As if we were going to war over what? Greenland or something? So it's a real mess. Exactly. And why would you want so much pomp and circumstance, so much press, when you're having the top brass of our military convene in one place? I am no military strategist, but I can tell you that if I were on the other end and I wanted to take over the U.S., kerplunk, allegedly.
Allegedly.
The amount of press that Trump desires to have when he's traveling. What are these other countries getting out of him that they're keeping him alive? Because at this point, they could have eliminated him and just did what they want to do. Like Putin and Bibi from Philly, I know that they sit there wondering, like, do I press the button now? Do I press the button later? Do I press the button now? Do I press the button later? And let's not forget the amount of times that he and J.D. Vance and other cabinet members have been on Air Force One together with Mike Johnson.
Oh, shit. That's a three-for. That's the whole chain of command.
Now, I had issues back surrounding 9/11 when I was like, who approved this? And maybe some of you all will remember, maybe you didn't notice and you'll think about it now. When they kept giving us play-by-play of where in the air Bush was.
They wanted to get rid of him.
And I was thinking, like, why are we doing this? And they were like, yeah, he was here. He took off and he's now going over here. Like in real time, and then kept going to live video of him. And I'm like, why are we doing this? Didn't agree with his politics, never been a Republican, but right is right, wrong is wrong. And y'all know on this show, and anytime I speak, I don't have to be in agreement with something, but I'm going to give you the facts and give you the truth and go, hey, this is not safe or secure for any of us. And that was one of those situations. And with Trump currently, with him constantly, yes, I know that interviews can be done on Air Force One. It is set up with a section for the press corps. I get that. But why is it every damn time he's in the air, he has to be on camera, and some way, somehow, somebody has to slide in where they're coming from, where they're over. Like, you do know you're on the plane with him, right?
Down goes Frazier.
I wouldn't be agreeing to it. I would definitely not. Would no footage go out until we land? Like, I'm on here with you, bruh. Hey, Bookie Butt. But all of the, like, we're going to heavily publicize, and legacy media, I need y'all to start thinking. I need you to start thinking. Ratings are not worth everybody's life. Because when one country wants to wage war on another country, they don't give a damn who they hit to make a point. They don't care who they hit to make a point.
Don't hit Chicago.
You do realize that with Russia and Ukraine, Russia didn't immediately go, let's not bomb until we find out precisely where Zelensky is. No.
They didn't.
But if you're going to keep advertising where they're calling all of our leaders onto, what do you think is going to happen? Like, I need y'all to think. We do not have a qualified or capable administration. We know this, okay? This is like giving a classroom full of preschoolers straight sugar in the raw and then asking them how to run the fucking country. We have to be the adults in the room.
I'm sure they can do it better.
And we have to go, you know what? We're not going to cover this. Like, we will get the footage, but we will not release that until they're dispersed. We are not going to spend days talking about, hey, the Secretary of Defense and all of our fucking generals are going to be meeting at this location at this time. Oh, yeah, by the way, the president's going to stop through.
Well, you know.
It's bad enough we have a sitting vice president who loves to let people know when he's in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I hope y'all realize that when he was elected to Congress, he's living in Hamilton County. He is not the representative out of Hamilton County. Let me repeat this for y'all because I don't think y'all hear me because I keep saying it. Y'all not hearing me. You're not hearing me. His congressional district that he represented was not Hamilton County. He lives in Hamilton County.
Cincinnati ain't that big.
Cincinnati is bigger than you think. Cincinnati is bigger than you think.
No, I know it's big.
And Middletown, still not Cincinnati.
No, I'm just saying it's big. It ain't big enough. It ain't that big.
It's not as big as it is big. It's just not as big as Chicago.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You know, so one bomb.
But yeah, I'm like, and he's spending way too much time there, having roads closed off. Like I said, you know where he's going to be. This is the same person had to let everybody know where he was going to be at for his birthday, down on the river.
That's my point.
Bruh.
You keep letting everybody know where the fuck he at. He's trying to kill everybody in Cincinnati at this point. Because they want to drop a bomb on Cincinnati to get him. Everybody else go.
He goes where he chooses to live. The affluent area that he lives in is right next to a not so affluent area. Now it's a no. It's an area with what would be classified as mini mansions, not far from where my paternal grandparents lived. Okay. They're mini mansions. These are places that for a very long time were historically Black owned and Black resided in. Okay. So they they were hiding in plain sight. So more towards the outskirts of right before you started to get to the suburbs, etc. Well, Black people have kept a stronghold on a lot of those family houses, and they're not letting them go. I still have a cousin that lives there. I have a godmother that lives in that area, and they're not letting go. And I don't blame them. I would not let go of that property either. I wouldn't. Beautiful property, old school architecture and construction that is gonna last. It's gonna be there for a little minute. But where he is, don't start none, won't be none. Don't start none, won't be none. You gonna piss somebody off. Because these are people that still govern themselves. That's why you don't hear about much crime coming out of there, especially when it comes to children or women. Just like Lincoln Heights created its own security detail after the Klan decided they wanted to come and try to nook, but they couldn't, and they got booked.
No, if you booked.
Yeah.
If you booked.
Walnut Hills is broken up into different areas. You have East Walnut Hills, you have Paddock Hills, you have all of the hills. They're historically Black. And they are very proud of their history and their heritage, and they are going to protect and preserve and keep those areas as safe as possible for the melanated.
The Black folk.
But with that being said, as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. If you missed any portions of today's Taz Effect, keep in mind you can watch them on YouTube or on Substack. If you are not subscribed on TikTok, YouTube, or Substack, what are you waiting for? There's some great content out there, especially the in-depth content that is pertaining to history and historic commentary on Substack. And there is a Learning Through Black Literature series on Slavery by Another Name that is over on on TikTok. So for less than $10 a month, you can get all this great education. Also, do not forget to peruse the parameters of the links in my bio and do the thing. Oh, yes. And make sure you buy some merch. Merch link is
we got a soundboard too, y'all. So next time studio audience will be available, there might be some extra sounds. Oh, yeah. Forgot. I got to work on the soundboard. Thank you for reminding. All right. So, yeah, the studio audience will have I'm very afraid to unleash the soundboard on the studio soundboard, audience, but pray for me. But yeah, logo T-shirt. What the one up at the top? Oh, you want this logo on a T-shirt? I got you. Oh, on Substack. Sorry, we'll be getting to you so you can see the graphics as well again soon. Okay. I got you, Nightbird. I work on Chaos King. I will work on that today, and I need to put out a new video for the merch. Do not forget tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, is Conversations with Taz for Talk About It Tuesday, and there's a lot going on the internet that we do need to get together and talk about. As always, each one teach one, each one reach one. I enjoy you all. Be good. Be safe. Love you from